Hola Unconventionals, we're going to update you on the coronavirus situation here in Ecuador.
Yeah, there's been a lot of disturbing footage, mainly coming out of Guayaquil, that's made it on international news in the last week about the coronavirus here. We know it's also on the coast, and we know people are suffering here as well for other reasons.
Yes, they are. We're going to share with you what's happening here in Alone and what we're doing to help people and how you can help us.
Yep. All right, let's just dive in, Amelia.
Agreed.
So CNN, Wall Street Journal, Fox News, Democracy Now!, a bunch of news outlets shared some really disturbing footage in Guayaquil of dead bodies in the streets. We've heard now that the government is doing a better job of staying on top of things, but the main problem is that all of the funeral homes were closed. They didn't really want to go pick up people.
Well, most of them.
Yeah, most of the funeral homes were closed. And so the people weren't getting picked up. And in a city of roughly 3 million people, you're going to have a couple hundred people die every day just from other causes, heart attacks, natural causes. And so with the funeral homes basically not operating, there were people that weren't being picked up. Yeah,
for apparently days, which is just awful, very sad. But like JP said, we've heard that they have gotten that situation rectified, or that they're working on it, and also that they've hired more people.
They didn't have enough medical staff, trained medical staff, and coroners, and they just didn't have enough people to handle all of this. And they also haven't had enough tests, so they're not testing people who have died for the coronavirus. So we know that the numbers are underreported as far as the number of confirmed cases and also the number of people who've died from it, because they just aren't testing people who have died. And the confirmed cases are only of people who were tested while they were still living and then died. They also are not testing here in Alone.
Right.
And at this stretch of beach, there are no medical facilities equipped to handle testing. They don't have the proper training. They don't have the tests. So we've heard that several people in this area have died with coronavirus type symptoms, but without being a test, they're not included in the total number.
We're acting as if the coronavirus is here, which is really what we all should be doing anyway, and taking as much care to protect all of ourselves and each other as we possibly can. It's a law now that you have to go out with a face mask, and you will be fine if you're not wearing a mask, so that's a good thing. Yep. And the quarantine is in effect, and it's staying in effect
until April 20th.
Right.
So they've extended it another week, and then after that, it'll still be a modified quarantine. Guayaquil will probably still be on a full quarantine for the foreseeable future, but some other areas that aren't as badly hit by it will probably have a little bit more freedom of movement.
Yes, and we hope so, because people need to go back to work. What's happened is that people here have no food because they have no money, and it's a really terrible situation. It's really sad. So many people here, they work day to day, so they work, they make the money, and then they go and buy food to feed their family. And most of the people here are out of work. Especially in this area, we get a lot of people that rely on tourism. Yeah,
there's no tourism, so the beach is closed, the restaurants are closed. So a lot of people, play music, they sell trinkets on the beach, they sell food on the beach, they work in restaurants, and none of them have jobs. And, in the States, we always talk about people living paycheck to paycheck. That's a luxury here. People live day to day.
Yeah, a lot of people, they're house cleaners or service providers, and those people just aren't working. And it's, like we said, it's very sad.
So to make matters worse, the food prices have gone up. We finally started seeing an increase. Some things haven't, but a lot of things have, like tomatoes and onions are about triple the price now. We don't eat eggs, but eggs are about triple the price from what they were. And not only that, but they're hard to find. A lot of the food is hard to find. The mercados haven't been open consistently, although they have been open the last couple of days. They were pretty bare when we were there. There just wasn't a lot of food in them.
I was out this morning and I saw both the veggie mercados were open and they had delivery, so that was very encouraging. I know the comuna and all of the comunas have been working to try to get food, because for a while the vegetables were getting pretty scarce.
Yeah. So according to Marcha and Shell from Villa de los Sueños, they are estimating about 90% of the people in this area are unemployed, the locals. That means that 90% of the people don't have income to buy food, and a lot of people are really hungry. So we've already donated several $100s to feed people and their animals, because they can't afford to buy dog and cat food either. So we're hoping that you guys are going to be able to help out so we can feed even more people. And there are a couple of organizations that we're working with. So we're going to collect the money, but we're going to distribute it to the people who are boots on the ground.
Right.
And the first group is run by Jenny and Steffi and a few other people. Jenny is from Germany and Steffi is from Macedonia, which is north of Greece. I had to look that up. I apologize. I'm an American. I don't know where places are. So they are organizing this and going and buying the food, assembling it into packages, and then they're riding around town on their bicycles and motorcycles, and even going out into the country near here and delivering these food packages to people. And because of the curfew, they can only work till 2. So they get up at 5 a.m. to assemble these packages, and they go and buy food at the grocery store and deliver it. It's amazing what they're doing in such a short amount of time. And Steffi told us that people cry when they show up with food because they're just so thankful to have something to eat.
Yeah, I just got really emotional.
I know, it's a sad situation. The virus is bad, but the quarantine may actually be worse for people because it affects everyone. Not, the virus affects people who catch it, and not everyone dies from it.
Right.
But the quarantine is affecting everyone, and people are hungry.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah. So Rebecca, with Paws Alone, is collecting money and buying dog and cat food because if people can't afford to feed themselves, they can't afford to feed their dogs and cats either. So we've already given money to Rebecca as well to buy a bunch of dog food. I think we bought enough to feed 5 to 7 dogs for a week.
No, she said.
No, it was 20 dogs and 20 cats for a week.
Yeah.
So that's how much we've donated to her already. So you have more to say?
Oh, I was just going to say the need is great. Really throughout Ecuador, we know that there's organizations in Cuenca that are helping people out too. I mean, when, like JP said, most of the people aren't working. It's a tough situation. It's
a really tough situation. So, we understand too that a lot of you may be struggling financially now as well with loss of job, medical bills, all of the expenses that it takes to live. If you are struggling yourself, please take care of yourself. But if you can afford even a little bit, $10 will feed somebody for a week here. And we need as much money as we can get because there's hundreds of people just in this small town that need help. And that's not including all of the other comunas up and down this coast. So we're doing what we can to raise money to help our neighbors here near us. But there's a greater need all throughout Ecuador and throughout the world. So if you can help anyone, anywhere through this extremely tough time, that would be great. We are going to include links on our website. If you just go to our homepage, ameliaandjp.com, I have links, 2 different buttons right at the top. One says food for people and one says food for dogs and cats. And if you want to donate to one or both of those, we would greatly appreciate it. All of the money you donate will go directly to buy food, minus the payment processing fees. The bank still gets their pound of flesh. The banks, they always get paid. But all of the rest of the money will go directly to buy food. Whatever you can spare to help feed people who are hungry right now, families, children, elderly people, disabled people, we all need your help. You have anything else to say? Amelia's trying to fight back the tears.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
She's out of words, apparently.
Yes. I guess I am out of words. I don't even know what else to say.
So please let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts on this, what you're doing to help other people. And if you can, we really appreciate any donations you can afford. All right, is that it, Amelia?
I think so.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you in advance for everything. We really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you all very soon. Ciao.
Ciao.